Well, shifting gears toward the value of why it's why it's important culture and that many of our listeners I think will have certainly heard of Lou Gerstner, who was the chairman of IBM.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so he once said, "Culture isn't just one aspect of the game; it is the game." And so while we've defined it, why do you think it's such an essential part of leadership?
I don't know if I can add more to Luke Gerstner, but going back to our earlier discussion, as a leader, I really believe, and I've increasingly been learning that my role is yes to help set strategy, but is really to create the unique conditions by which a broad group of people can do great things.
Yeah,
And that's kind of the language that kind of works for me because I think I have to create the conditions, which is a combination of the artifacts and what I demonstrate. It's also a conditions not for one, but for many people. Because as you lead large organizations, like I personally cannot define the what for every part of our business. I mean, we span a
mm,
global business operating consumer segments, enterprise segments, government segments. There's no way that I personally can do the what for all of that. So, to create the environment by which we can enable people to do great things, I think is a part of leadership. And by the way, I think some of the latest challenges are not just to enable people to do great things, but particularly in a world that is increasingly hybrid. We all went through COVID together. There's
mhm.
really a new challenge out there for all of the leaders out there, and that is really engaging the hearts and the minds of our employees because it's increasingly easy to feel lost. In fact, we just finished our second year of a broad body of research that we at HP have done. We call it the Work Relationship Index. This is our second year. It's about 15,000 employees around the world where we've spent time to understand how do they feel about work and would they consider their work environment a place where they feel as though they are able to thrive and contribute. The good news, well, actually, the bad news is on average, work relationship that the health that people feel was relatively low. 28% of employees felt as though they had a healthy relationship with work. The good news, though, so to speak, is guess what one of the top drivers are? It's about leadership, connecting with the leadership, feeling the sense of community and connection. And again, that's why when I hear you reinforce the learnings and the wisdom of Gerstner and et cetera about how leadership is our day job and culture is our day job, it makes all the sense in the world. All the latest data shows that.
Yeah, you guys have hit on, and you have a really large body of data to corroborate some work of my colleague Tate Shanafelt, who is at Stanford, and he really has done a lot. He's the really the world authority in physician burnout and professional burnout and engagement and so forth. And he's shown in his work that it's the leadership capability of your immediate supervisor that has the greatest impact on whether or not you have professional burnout or engagement, fulfillment, those sorts of things. So your data corroborate that perfectly.